Sing me a song of a lass that is gone.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kaylee and today is Tuesday, which means it is Outlander video day. Now every single Tuesday I bring out a different Outlander related video to help us all get through Droughtlander and to sort of ease that time in between we having no books and no TV series. But that's coming to an end so soon. I mean, I say this probably every week now, but the book is so close. It is so close, and we are going to have the next installment of what's happening. But today I want to talk all about one of the episodes that was just, it was beyond words, the most anticipated, I believe, for season 1. Now we've been recapping episodes from the start and we're currently up to the wedding. This episode was, like I said, probably the most anticipated for the entire first season. It was so well done. It was just, I mean, everything. The music, the costumes, the little changes. And there were a few little changes throughout this episode from the books. But let's go through some of my favourite scenes from this episode. Going into this episode, we initially see Claire with Frank out the front of the registry office, and Frank basically proposes to Claire and says, let's just do it. Let's just get married right now. It's a great throwback to, you know, that life that Claire had, and you get to see that they were in love and they, you know, they had their own lives before she's now been thrown back through time, and you get that reminder that Frank is out there and they are a happy couple. You know, it's just, I don't know, it's just a nice little tie-in and a nice way to step into this episode.
Now?
Why not?
What about your parents? They'll be waiting for us at the restaurant.
Let them wait.
But straight after we see Frank and Claire together getting married, we see Claire and Jamie saying I do. Now, you initially think, wait, have I missed something? What's going on here? But then we start to get the description of what happened throughout their day and how they both prepared for the big moment, their actual wedding. One of my favourite things about this episode is when you are hearing why Jamie did, in fact, agree to marry Claire, and it was simply because he wanted to protect her. Now we know later on Jamie basically says that he fell in love with Claire the moment he saw her, so obviously he had some feelings for her, but ultimately the outcome is he wants to protect and make sure she's okay and has no sort of problems with Blackjack in the future.
So you married me to keep me safe?
Yeah. That's the gist of it.
So what I really loved about this episode is that even though it's basically being filmed in 1 or 2 locations, the bedchamber, when the wedding is actually taking place, and a couple of flashbacks for Frank and Claire, you don't sit there and go, oh, this is taking forever. Is there anything going to happen this episode? It is literally, you're on the edge of your seat going, oh, this is so lovely, or whatever your reaction is, you are right there in it. It was not an episode at all where you would be considering saying, oh, this is boring. Are they going to hurry up? I mean, that very rarely happens throughout any episodes in Outlander, but this one in particular, I was just like, wow, is the episode over already? When it ended, I thought we'd only been watching for about 20 minutes. It was crazy. When Jamie says to Claire, my name, my clan, my family, and if necessary, the protection of my body, that is pretty much when everybody watching melted. I personally believe. It was something that has been most certainly talked about throughout many different Outlander forums, all of the different groups or chat sites or anything like that. They say that this is one of the most crucial scenes, and it's clearly when Claire lets her final guard down in regards to their relationship moving forward. I absolutely love this scene. I mean, there's probably not a single person out there that does. If you didn't like this scene, please drop it in the comments below. I'd love to know what your favourite scene was throughout this episode. But that was most certainly one of mine. It's just iconic.
You have my name, my clan, my family. And if necessary, the protection of my body as well.
We also learn throughout this episode that Murtagh most certainly had some sort of feelings towards Jamie's mum. Now, we obviously learn later on a bit more of that, but in this particular episode, he lets down his guard in saying about how beautiful her smile was in comparison to Claire's, and you start to see that little, there's a storyline coming here, there's something, okay, keep an eye on that. I love seeing that side of Murtagh where it's more vulnerable, but not, if that makes sense.
Your mother had the sweetest smile. Claire's smile is just as sweet.
Throughout this episode, though, it's not all love and mush. Well, it is, but there is some definite comic relief. When we see Angus and Rupert going to get the wedding ring. Now, I love Angus and Rupert. They are the best comedy duo, I believe, throughout the entire series. So when they're there and organising to get the key turned into a ring, Rupert is just my ultimate side character. He's just lovely. I love everything about him. Watching that, it was some great comic relief. But also then when Ned was off getting the wedding dress and he's in the whorehouse, the poor man didn't know where to look, what to do, what to grab. He was just... the comedy of that episode was fantastic. And then, of course, we get the magnificent dress.
Perhaps we could offer you some entertainment in the meantime.
Possibly the most iconic dress of the entire season was the wedding dress. I have seen so many cosplayers and sewers and seamstress create this dress for Comic-Cons or anything like that, and they always look spectacular. This dress is just, it's out of this world phenomenal. I absolutely love it. The costuming in Outlander is always one of my, highly talked about, highly rated things, but the wedding dress itself was spectacular. Actually, what has been your favorite dress throughout all of the seasons? I believe the wedding dress may hold I think it's in the minimum top two. Obviously, the red dress in later seasons comes into play, but the wedding dress, it's stunning, it's classic, and it's beautiful. The end scene from this episode, though, it really does bring you back to reality when Claire is shaking out her dress and her original wedding ring from Frank comes tumbling out and rolls across the floor. It really is that slap in the face to say, wait a minute, has everyone forgotten about Frank? We have a life that we were trying to get back to, all this happiness, and you can see the chemistry building over here with Jamie and Claire, but big slap, here's Frank, here's his wedding ring rolling across the ground, what are we going to do? And you see her with her hands and 2 wedding rings on. This was played out fantastically. I thought that was a fantastic way to bring you back to reality, that Claire, this isn't going to be just the happy coupley life that everyone envisioned throughout this episode, and you could see it building throughout the episode. But when it got to that final scene of just bang, wait, this is not happiness. We come on, we have a life to get back to. We're trying to escape. We're trying to get back to the Stones. We need to go home. Bang. What are we going to do? Undoubtedly, there are some things throughout this episode that I have missed talking about today, so please tell me what was your favourite part about the wedding episode. It is, like I've said earlier, one of the most talked about episodes of the entire series. Not just that season, but the entire series. So I would absolutely love to know what you loved about it and what you didn't like about it. I mean, I know there was some changes throughout from the books to the actual episode, so were you upset by them? Did you love them? What were your thoughts? I'd absolutely love to know. If you have enjoyed listening to me talk about today's episode, please remember to hit that subscribe button. I do bring out a new Outlander video every single Tuesday, so I will see you all again next week for another Outlander video. Have a great week, guys. Bye.
Sing me a song of a